very good. Tapi dia meripik lah sampai
Dia kena timing macam dia nak cik camping je.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد في كل لمحة ونفس يعاد لكل ما Alhamdulillah, this is our 5th closing together. Last week we had a break. So last week we had nothing. So inshallah this week I hope to talk about I hope to share from the great Sheikh Khaja Nizamuddin Awliya. He's a great Chishti saint buried in Delhi, inshallah. And it's from this book called Fawaidul Fuad. It's compiled by Amir Khusro, his closest disciple. And these are the conversations that he has with his Sheikh every day. So I'm taking from page 87 of the book and 76, inshallah. I'm just going to read through. It's quite a long thing for you guys to know. Now I'm just going to start from this, inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qala Shaykh Mu'allif Shaykh Abdul Khusro. For a while, the conversation turned to the basis for spiritual progress. That is the kernel of meaning. In this connection, the master noted that a man once presented himself to Khaja Ajal Shirazi. May God grant him mercy and forgiveness. And the Khaja conferred discipleship on him. The new disciple expected Khaja Ajal to instruct him on the invocations and prayers he ought to observe. So this guy came and he became murid of a certain sheikh, and he was waiting for the sheikh to give him like instruction. Now you recite this 500 times or 200 times a day. But the sheikh said what? What did the sheikh say? Whatever you do not find agreeable for yourself, declared the Khaja. The Khaja stopped and he said, and he continued again, he said, do not wish it to happen to others. Wish for yourself only what you also wish for others. So this was his zikir. Instead of asking him to do La ilaha illallah and anything like that, the Shaykh told him to do this. I mean, prayers and all, yes, but this is the wirid for the murid. What did he say? He said, whatever you do not find agreeable for yourself, do not wish it to happen to others. Wish for yourself only what you also wish for others. Okay, that was his wirid. In short, the man went away and after a while returned, presenting himself again to Khaja Ajal Shirazi. May Allah have mercy upon him. And he said, the man said, on such and such a day, he submitted to the Khaja. I waited upon you, hoping that you might tell me a prayer or invocation that I could repeat. But you told me nothing, he said. Today I am also expectant. And he continued, on that day, Khaja replied, what were your instructions? Khaja asked. The disciple was stupefied. What instructions? He did not give me anything. He did not answer. The Khaja smiled and said, on that day I told you that whatever was not pleasing to yourself was also not pleasing to another. And this is in bracket parenthesis, that you ought to wish for yourself the same thing that you wish for another. You did not remember this instruction. Since you have not learned from the first lesson, how can I give you another?
the pleasing part is the wirid. How do you recite such a wirid?
You be such a wirid. This is the difference.
Perhaps
It's it is, but this is the sunnah of the Prophet.
but at the same time, it's very basic tau.
It is. You see, you have like when our Imam Habib Hassan al-Shadhili Rasulullah wanted to ask Sheikh Abdul Salam al-Bashish what is the greatest name of God, Ismullah Azam. Before he could answer, his Imam Sheikh Abu Abbas, this Imam Hassan kept in himself. He did not even say it out. The daughter of Sheikh Abdul Salam al-Bashish stepped out and said, instead of asking what is the name, be the name. Be the name. Let's continue the story first, inshallah. After that, the master told me of the following story about a certain chaste saint. Many times he used to say that all virtuous deeds, such as prayers, fasting, invocations, and saying the rosaries, are cauldron. But the basic staple is the cauldron. In the cauldron is meat. What does it mean? Without meat, you do not experience any of these virtuous deeds. What is the meat? It means you eat biryani, right? You eat heavy stuff. You want the meat, not just the rice. The meat is the one that gives the flavor. Continue. Finally, as the pir, many times you have used that analogy. Now explain it. Meat, replied the saint, is renouncing worldliness. While prayer, fasting, invocation, as well as repetition of the rosary, all such virtuous deeds presuppose that the one who does them has left the world and is no longer attached to any worldly thing. Heavy, right? How not to be attached? It goes back to the same one, the first one. Do unto others what you have done to yourself. If you are actually putting others before self, you have given up the world. You see, like today example, an example is, I have, this is just me, what happened to me, I don't have an umbrella, and I got an umbrella from KL, and it was the biggest umbrella I took, right? And for three people. And today when I went out, I was like, alamak, I have to carry this big umbrella onto the MRT. And then on the way on the MRT, I said, maybe I can share with someone this umbrella. What happened was, when I reached the interchange on the way to the hospital, there was a lady who needed to cross the street and she didn't have an umbrella. I said, you want to share with me? Okay. So the intention was being made to use. Yes, it was heavy, but you don't want to get wet, and you know you have something you can help others with, right? So it's the same thing. You never know what you have with you can be given to others. It's not meant for you lah. It's meant for, but it can only be shared if you already put others before self. You see? Same like knowledge. It's meant to be shared if you put others before self. Only then will Allah say, if you give, I'll give you more. This is the biggest rosary. If you do, let's say we recite Yasin for someone, you will get the same benefits back. So if you keep doing dua for people, Allah will give you more. The process of getting to the more is not easy lah, but it's a lot of struggle. Let's carry on the story, inshallah. Whether he observes or does not observe prayer, invocation and other practices, there is no cause for fear. But if friendship with the world lingers in his heart, he derives no benefit from supplication, invocation and the like. It becomes a mere act. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that as well. It's better than not doing it at all. But to derive benefits, I'm doing this wirid, doing this thing, but I don't see a benefit. Why? Because you cannot even share an umbrella with another person. That means there's still the I-ness within me. Then the zikir cannot take effect because you only doing zikir of yourself, only remembering the self. When you're doing zikir, you're only supposed to remember God. It's difficult when you remember yourself in and outside of zikir. How are you going to remember God if outside of zikir you're remembering yourself? It takes time. So, but it needs lesson. It needs it needs knowledge, it needs guidance, it needs nur, light, it maintains intention. Let's carry on the story again. After that, the master observed, if one puts ghee, pepper, garlic and onion into a cauldron and adds only water, the end result is known as pseudo stew. Right? The basic staple for stew is meat. There are many not be other ingredients. Similarly, the basis for spiritual progress is leaving the world. There may or may not be other virtuous practices. It's the detachment of the self. What's the use of I'm doing 1,500 this, 1,500 that, but you still attached to yourself and to what you're supposed to receive. You're not opening the doors to how you can give after doing the zikr. You see? Example, let's say I've gone for this or I've done for that. I've done the spiritual practice and I'm doing that practice and all that kind of thing. But in what way from that practice are you giving instead of you just hoping to receive? There's nothing wrong with receiving, but it's best to give when we receive. That's when you are connected to Allah. When you're connected to Al-Razak. Let's carry on the story. The master then began speaking about renouncing worldliness. Actually entails, renouncing worldliness does not mean, for instance, that one becomes naked wearing only a loincloth. It does not mean that. He says, and sitting in solitude. No. Renouncing worldliness means instead to wear clothes and to take food while at the same time keeping in continuous use whatever comes to hand, feeling no inclination to hoard and no attachment to material objects. That disposition alone is tantamount to renouncing worldliness. It is the spirit of renouncing the world. It is the spirit of being able to give what you have. This is the most difficult thing for a lot of us, especially. And even sometimes when we give, we expect a return. There's nothing wrong with that, and we should do that most of the time with Allah. When you donate and when you don't have money, Allah, I'm giving, hoping to get something from you.
And also, when you're giving, don't give things that are like most out there.
Yeah.
Give the good things which you really love.
Correct.
And just let it go.
And it will come back. That's the main thing. It will come back. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. And remember like what this Shaykh said. What did he say? He said, your first wirid is do. In short, he meant that in short, that man went away and after do not wish it to happen to others. Wish for yourself only what you also wish for others. That was his zikir. You see, we are all now asking for like a lot of spiritual practices to improve our roh and all that kind of thing. But it must also come in a form where you are giving things away. Giving. It's no use when you're doing zikir but you're hoarding. That's what Sidi Abu Madian said. Tasawwuf is not about hoarding. If you read his qasaid, his qasidas, you see the Sufi is not one who hoards. Both his knowledge, in terms of knowledge, okay, I would say knowledge, information. Just hoarding information and then you just, I have this, I have that. I'm higher than you, I have this, therefore I am your teacher. I have this, therefore I am your leader. You are a leader and your teacher only when you're giving. And because the people who comes to you benefit and they can give, that makes you a better person. Because it becomes a chain of people giving. It has to be sharing to people. And this is what the Shaykh said. If you see that the people around you can benefit from what you have, then give. But don't hoard yourself. And there's another thing that he said. This is from another letter. This is from page 130. It's not a letter. This is from another conversation the great Amir Khusro had with the great Nizamuddin Awliya Rasulullah. This is from page 130. He said, every day some part of the earth asks other parts of the earth in language that expresses their respective conditions. This is the earth talking to each other. Today, has any person who remembered God, Zakir, the one who remembers God, treaded upon you? Or any grief-stricken person, or someone pain-afflicted? Mostly reply no. But if the reply is yes, that means if the earth replied yes, then that portion of the earth on which such a holy one has treaded assume pride of place over the others. Imagine now you're walking and you remember God, or you are someone who is grief-stricken. For example, today I don't have money lah. I walk and I'm very grief-stricken. I cannot buy things for my family or something like that. That portion of the earth that you have walked on is the most proud portion of the earth on earth. Faham? You get what I'm trying to say? That's how great people like this are. So,
why is that portion of the earth feeling that way?
Because it is able to carry someone who is humble.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
You see? And the other parts, and in Islam we know those who are whose hearts are broken are close to me. That's what he told Sayyidina, Allah told Sayyidina Musa alaihi salatu wasalam. So the earth, and then the other part of the earth who has other parts of the earth which have people who remember Allah, even that portion of the earth becomes very proud. This comes back to number one, a gathering that emphasizes on giving.
Papa,
Yes, I am.
I did the job, I throw at the dump truck.
A gathering that emphasizes on giving, both giving and also a gathering that open the doors to remember Allah. So that place that we do the remembrance and we give is a place that becomes very, very blessed.
Papa, I open the door, I want to go in.
Okay, so
Open
so
the
imagine that's why places like masjid that have dhikr sessions and all that kind of thing. Masjid that actually gives away people, or it can be a center, or it can be a house for that matter of fact, where people come and people, let's say,
at the beach,
people contribute to the Jama'ah. Example, there's a group, people contribute, and this Jama'ah gives back to the people. It becomes a cycle, and that place becomes a place of where Allah sends down His mercy. Yes, it becomes a place where Allah sends down His mercy. So it's important that everything is based on giving, based on the hadith. It's not based on what someone said or what. It's based on the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he said, "Do not do unto others what you won't do unto yourself." This goes back, okay, to people who, and this is an advice to myself as a teacher, is that teach unto others what they need, because we were once as teachers in that same state. Do not shortchange the people that come to you, because then at the end of the day you're only shortchanging yourself.
chopstick.
Be it children, be it women, be it men, give them what you can give them and what they can carry, And this is the sunnah of the Prophet. Speak to them at their level. That doesn't mean you grade people. No, you do not grade people. But as teachers, you must feel the other person's heart. You must feel the other person's rope. You must feel the other person's mental, everything. Because you are a mirror to the students mirror to you. And hence, you are creating a sacred space. But at one point of time, that 1 millisecond or that 1 second when everything is happening, it doesn't only involve physical